In this lecture, let's understand about ACL or access control list. ACL is a set of filters that's usually configured in the layer 3 switches or router. Generally, in most cases, it will be configured in the router where it examines all the incoming and outgoing traffic, and based on the filters it's configured, it will either permit the traffic or deny traffic. Okay, so this is a set of filters which is applied in the L3 device like router on any interface, either on inbound direction or outbound direction or whatever the flow it is configured. Based on that, whenever a traffic is coming in, it look at the filters, and if the filter permits, it will be allowed to pass in. Or if you have a deny rule, then your traffic will be dropped at the interface itself. Okay. So this is what ACL will do on a high level. So when you configure a filter, you can design a filter based on source address, source IP address, destination IP address, destination or source port number, and protocol, etc. Okay, so it helps to prevent unauthorized access to the device and resources by blocking, malicious traffics or unwanted unknown traffics, I would say. Okay, it operates on layer 3 and layer 4 of OSI model, because when you create any filters, ACL filters it will be either based on the IP addresses or port numbers, right? So it works based on layer 3 and layer 4 of OSI model, and it provides the traffic control, and overall it improves the security of the enterprise network. So the key characteristics and processing logic of ACL, so we understand that ACL is a set of rules or a filters based on that which traffic will be either permitted or denied, right? So let's understand how it's processed. Okay, how what's the characteristics of ACL and how does it process? Consider that you're defining some 10 ACLs, okay, access control filters, 10 filters or 10 rules in a router for one specific interface. So in that case, when a specific traffic is coming, or when one particular traffic is coming, what it will do, it will check, if you have ACL configured in that interface, and what it will do, that particular packet will check from top to bottom. When you have 10 ACLs, what it will do, it will check from top to bottom. It will first check the rule number 1, and if the condition is not matching, then it will go to rule number 2, and if the condition is not matching, then it will go to condition 3. Like that, it will compare each and every rule from top to bottom to all the available rules. Say for example, if the packet or the traffic is matching to the rule 4, okay, and if the action is set to be permit, then based on that rule 4, that particular packet will be allowed to pass. Okay, and it will never check further. Okay, once any condition is matching, it will not check further to rule 5, 6, 7 and all. If rule 4 is matching, and if the action is allowed to pass, like permit, then it will allow the pass, like it will permit the traffic. Or if the action is set to deny, then simply it will drop the traffic, and it will never further checks with the further match with 5 or 6, nothing. Like once any rule is matched, like whatever action defined to that rule, either permit or deny, it will go with that action only. And it's from, as I said, it's from top to bottom. First matching entry decides the action. And if in case, like it's comparing with all the rules, and if there is no match condition with existing rules, then by default, whenever you create any ACL, the last statement or the last rule would be implicit deny all. Okay, means you have defined 10 rules, access control filters. Okay, when a packet is coming, it will be matching from top 1 to 3, 1 to 10, from top to bottom. If any condition match in between, it will take the action based on that particular filter. If nothing is matching, then at last, by default, there is implicit deny action. So based on that, that packet will be or denied. That is an hidden statement, like you won't see that generally. So it is an hidden statement. So based on that, like if nothing matches, based on that, it will be dropped. So types of ACL. So whenever you search for types of ACL, you'll be seeing four types like standard, extended, numbered, and named. But the actual type of ACL is only two. One is standard ACL and the other one is extended ACL. So the numbered ACL or the named ACL is the method that we configure the ACL. Okay. So it's not the actual method of ACL. So the actual method is standard or extended, and where numbered and named are the methods of configuring either standard or extended. Right. So what is standard ACL? So standard ACL, using standard ACL, we can create filters based on source IP address. Okay, you can create any filter based on source IP address, and if there is any match, you can give action to it. It cannot examine further like destination address. It cannot check your port number, protocol, nothing. It will check only the source IP address, and based on the action defined to that particular access list, it will perform the action. Uh, if you just look at here, this is the example for standard access list. Okay, it's a numbered method. Access, the command is, first you need to define access list, then you need to define a number here. Based on the number, like the router will know what kind of access list you're using, because like if you see here, we have these ranges. Like the standard ACL have 1 to 99 or 1300 to 1999. If you use any number between these ranges, then that particular ACL is considered as a standard ACL, where a router will give you leverage to perform based on source IP only. Where else, like if you use any ranges from 100 to 199 or 2000 to 2699, then a router will know that this is an extended ACL, and it will give you leverage to configure more filters, like in addition to source IP, it will also give you leverage to configure destination IP address, TCP or a UDP, then port numbers, protocols, etc. Okay, so you should be very careful, like whenever you're giving any numbers. So it depends on what kind of ACL you want to use. If you want to use only standard, ensure that you are using within that range. So access list, when I put 10, this is one among the standard list. So that's the reason I'm putting this particular range number. Then I'm telling permit condition. Okay, so I'm telling permit if the traffic is coming from the source network 192.168.1.0/24. Okay, so this is the wildcard mask of /24. As you know, wildcard is the inverse of subnet mask. So the subnet mask is 255.255.255.0, where the wildcard is inverse of that, which is 0.0.0.255. Okay, so in this case, whenever a traffic is coming from 192.168.1.0/24 network, so when it's coming to the router, and like when it checks the access list, it starts from the top to bottom, right? So when it starts from top, if the first condition is matching, because the source is 192.168.1 dot maybe 10 something, basically from that /24. So as this is matching this source IP address, the action set to this access list is permit. So the traffic will be permitted. Okay. And if you look at the next line, access list 10, deny 10.10.10.0/24, which means if any network, any packet that's coming from the source network 10.10.10.0/24, then that packet will get. So when you configure ACL, there are two parts. One is you need to configure the filters like a sequential orders, whatever way you want. Then you need to call that access list inside the interface and need to mention whether it's for inbound traffic or for the outbound traffic. Like in which, like if you mention inbound, then this access list will be applicable only to the inbound traffic on that interface, incoming traffic on that interface. So it won't check the outbound traffic of that interface. If you specify outbound, then it will check only the outgoing interface, like outgoing traffic of that interface, and it won't check the incoming interface, like incoming traffic. That's the difference. So we need to be very careful when we specify the flow, like whether inbound or outbound. So what I did, once I configured the access list, then I'm just mentioning the interface through which the traffic will be coming in. And then I need to call IP access list. So I have used access group here. It depends, like if you're using a name, that's fine. And if you're using a number, usually I'll be putting access list. It depends on your OS. and either IP access list or access group. Okay, then you need to call that same number here, so that we are calling that access list whatever we are configured, and I'm specifying in means this is applicable for incoming traffic on this interface. Okay, so this is the standard. Where extended ACL, as I said, in addition to source IP address, you can also create filters based on source destination IP address, then protocol like TCP, UDP, ICMP, like that, and also you can specify the port number. Okay, so it has more leverage comparing to the standard ACL. And if you look at here, I use the same thing, access list. Here I use the number 100 because from 100 to 199, it falls under the extended list. If you look at here, from 100 to 199, it falls under the extended ACL list. So when I put 100, then router will give me, more options to configure. If I put only less than 99, then it will give me option to configure only the source IP. All right. So as I put 100, it falls under the extended access list. Then I'm telling to permit what to permit. If any traffic, if any TCP traffic that's coming from the source network 192.168.1.0/24 towards the destination network, this is the destination, okay, towards the destination network of 10.10.10.0/24, which is equivalent to the destination port number of 80, nothing but your HTTP traffic. Okay, if any HTTP traffic with the destination port number 80 from source network of this to destination network of this, if it's coming, permitted. Okay, and then I'm telling deny anything from 192.168.2.0. If any network is coming from this particular network to any destination, just deny it. And also I'm telling just permit 10.10.10.network that's coming to any of outgoing, like any of the destination, just permit it. Okay, so this is how you need to define the extended ACL. Okay, and then again as same as standard, you need to call the same thing in the interface. I need to mention whether this is applicable for incoming traffic or outgoing traffic. Okay. All right. So this is all about numbered ACL and named ACL. So far we have seen about numbered because we're using a number, right? So we have some limitations when you use number. It's not so flexible. However, when you use the named ACL, it's so flexible. Okay, you can modify easily. So this is how you need to configure the named ACL. When I was talking about numbered is little, it's not flexible, but named ACL like this is more flexible. Okay, it's very straightforward. Instead of using number, you just put IP access list. Then straight away you need to mention what kind of access list you're using, standard ACL or extended ACL. If you put a standard, then it's fine. It's going to give you option only to based on source only. If you put extended, then you can give it. Will be getting more options to write that. So I just put IP access list standard and give any name to your access. This is the name for that access list I'm creating. Then under that access list, I'm writing the statements. Okay, these are all the conditions and actions to it. So the filter is if it's coming from the source network 192.168.1.0/24, permit it. If it's coming from 192.168.2.0/24, deny the traffic. If it's coming from 10.10.10.0/24, permit. So the same, like the options are same. If it's of standard, you can write it only based on source, and if it's of extended, you have more options. Okay, but instead of numbered, if you put named ACL, it will be more easy for you. Then you can just get into that interface and IP access group, call that ACL name here, and specify whether it's inbound or outbound. Okay. Then implicit deny rule. So I think I already told about implicit deny rule. So whenever you configure any ACL, by default, a implicit deny rule will be added, and it's a hidden condition. So whenever a traffic is coming, and if it's matching to the ACL, that's fine. So whatever action it is assigned to that particular match, it will perform. If there is no match at all, then by default, this implicit deny will be at the last line of the rule hidden. So it will match to that and the traffic will get denied. So whenever you write any ACL, we need to be very careful. Just ensure that you have all the permit statements. Like for all the network, you have a permit statements. So if you forget to add any permit statement for a legitimate traffic, then it will not match to any conditions and it will get denied. ACL direction and placement guide. It's very, very important. As I said earlier, ACL has two parts. One is defining the filters, like what's the source and what's the destination, what kind of a protocol or port number. Based on that, what action it need to take, permit or deny. So the second part of that is once you created this filter, you need to apply it to that interface, whether inbound or outbound, right? So we need to be very careful for whether we are placing it in the right direction. Say for example, by mistake, instead of putting into inbound to outbound, if you put instead of putting into inbound by mistake, if you applied it to outbound, then it's of no use. Okay, so just to ensure that you are applying that ACL in the right direction. All right. And also, generally, the standard ACLs will be placed close to the destination network or the destination to avoid more number of filters created. And extended ACLs will be created in the as closest to the source network. Okay, so you can keep this in consideration. So these are all the theoretical understanding about ACLs. In the next video, practically, let's understand about ACL, how to configure it, and how it works.